The Libido Doctor is in.
Hello and welcome. This is Dr. Suzanne, and today I would like to briefly talk about my understanding of female submission and also dig into why David was a polygamist. All right, so let's get started. It's going to be a short video, but first, the way I see submission. Okay, I grew up speaking French. So in French, submission means soumise, S-O-U-M-I-S-E, which means soumise. Sous means under, mise means placed. So placed under. Therefore, a wife or a woman is placed under the leadership of a man. So what does it mean to be a submissive wife? If you are placed under this man, it means that number one, you have agreed to his leadership. You know, men talk to women, but we ultimately decide to be with them. And if you go to a dowry ceremony, your family will always ask you, are you sure you have chosen him? Are you sure you want to go with him? And the girl says, yes, yes. So the woman ultimately makes the choice. When she makes the choice, she has decided to submit under the leadership of the man. One, agree with his vision. Two, take his name. Three, when you make love with a man and you lay, they call it the missionary position. It's not the missionary position, it's the submission position when the woman is under. You have agreed to take him into you and to produce his children. Okay, so this is submission. And a lot of men do not understand what it means to be a submissive wife. Okay, so I would like to take the example of David and his wives and how he picked them. And in particular, the way Abigail, one of the wives, displayed this reverence to the man. If you read, you just take your Bible and go read, okay? So if you read what happened between David and Abigail, David was taking care of the sheep of her husband. And at some point, there was a feast in Abigail's husband's house, Abigail and her husband. And David sent his soldiers to request for food. But the husband refused. And not only refused, he treated David as a fugitive, as a slave, just not very nice. David got upset and decided to go kill Nabal, the husband of Abigail at the time, and the entire household. When Abigail heard that, she quickly gathered food and drinks and rushed to meet David as he was coming towards her household. And when she met David, before giving him the food, she knelt before him. She revered him, and she was calling him my Lord and reminding him, you are a king. Even though David was anointed to be king, Saul was still a king, and Saul wanted to kill David. So David was running for his life. So he was like a fugitive, and he just living from cave to cave. There's nothing really kingly about that. But Abigail saw beyond that, and she told him, my Lord, you are a king. Don't do this. Don't stain your reputation. And she revered him so much. And after speaking to him, to his heart, to his soul, then she told him, and I brought some food and provisions for your men. Right? Even though it's the food that David was looking for, when Abigail talked to him, she brought out the king in him, and then she nurtured his stomach. What is exactly a submissive wife? If you remember, in one of my videos, I talked about the 4 faces of a woman, of a wife. And those 4 faces are the face of the ego, which is the spiritual controller, the face of the lioness, who is the fighter, the face of the ox, who is the hard worker, and the face of the female, who is this captivating creature that a man sees when he's yours and when you are his. According to Genesis 1:27, he's going to say, this is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. If you are the one, number one, you are going to be equally yoked spiritually. Everything starts in the spirit. And when you see each other, you will know, this is mine, he is mine. There is no doubt. Not only your heart will tell you, but the center of your body, which is your womb, will begin to vibrate. And the seat of power in your vagina will tell you, this is your king. This is your king. Anyway, when a woman meets the man she's destined to, she will submit, because she will revere him. And he in turn, if he's the right one, he will love her. Remember Ephesians 5, the submission of the wife and the love of the husband. To me, a wife is like a field. I also had a video about that. And that field can be divided in 4 parts. But why do I say a wife is a field? Your womb is like an earth. Seeds are planted, not just human seeds from your husband's sperm, but seeds of achievement, seeds of your divine mission, seeds of your outreach to the world, to the poor, to whatever is written in your destiny. Those seeds are already planted in your womb, including the seeds for your future husband. Because there is something, you are the helpmate. There is something in you that matches with him that you're supposed to bring forth in his life. And if you don't, it's not going to happen. It doesn't mean that if you don't meet him, you're not going to be able to help another man. You will help another man. But I'll give you some differences in what happens to different type of men, okay? And I take the example of David. Why not? The wife, if she is under the husband, like in French, she's soumise, she's put under, it means she's like a foundation. If you read Isaiah 54, the entire is talking about the woman, the essence of femininity. We are the foundation. Where does the foundation go? Under. We say a wise woman builds her house. You are the foundation, and then you begin to build the walls. Therefore, if you are the foundation, you are under him. Always. You have to revere him. You have to revere his peace scepter. Okay, I'm not going to get into that. That's another topic. But if you compare a woman to a foundation or a field, it means the woman cannot move. It's the farmer who moves to find the field, right? That's why a woman should never chase a man. We also learned that in Isaiah 54, our foundations was filled with precious stones. Not all the stones are listed, not all the riches are listed, but it tells me that every woman has a different gift, right? You can line 100 of us in a room, and each one of us has a specific gift. That specific gift, part of it, is to your husband. So if that field is divided in 4, that's the way I see it, okay? That's my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. I'm just telling you what I think. So you have 4 parts, and I divide it in like the 4 parts of, if you cut the body in 4 quadrants, the right leg is going to be destined to your kingdom husband, your divine spouse, this Genesis 1:27 male that is destined to you as a female. Because you are his helpmate, you're going to help his destiny. You're going to strengthen him. You're going to help him elevate and expand to the highest levels he can. Your left leg is your own destiny. It's going to encompass your children, your degrees, your enterprise. Whatever you do is your destiny. Your right hand, the right upper side is going to be what you do to reach out to the world that impacts the world and get you paid, okay, and opens the door for kings to know about you, for the light, for your light to attract others, to bring something impactful in the lives and destinies of others. And then the left side is going to be what you do for those who can never give you back. Your giving, your compassion, your offerings, what you do for the poor, the widow, because they will never cease to exist in the land. So this is how I see a woman. If you are a field and you get a farmer, a sower, because God gives the seeds to the sower. You get the sower who comes to your field, so your husband, right? And he doesn't understand that you are this multi-part person and he wants to oppress you. He's not your husband. He definitely is not, because he doesn't see what God has hidden inside of you. And he's going to block your mission and you will not be able to help him in his vision. If you find the man who is yours, because you have 1/4 of your whole field that is destined for him alone, you will begin to have insights and seeds, like things will begin to birth out of this field, out of your womb for him. Because there are things only you can do for him, no one else. He could have tried before he would have failed until you show up. This is how God designed it. Why was David a polygamist? I believe he was because every time he reached a certain level, he had to find another field, another woman that would help him reach where he was supposed to go. When David met Abigail, she was married to Nabal, and he was married to Aniwa, another lady, right? He even had a child with that lady. But the way Abigail spoke to him, she brought out the king in him. She reminded him that he was a king. He discovered that in order for him to reach out that kingly level, he needed the helpmeet that understood him and that mission about him. He ended up marrying Abigail and he became king while he got married to Abigail. Now, when David saw Bathsheba, David was a prophet. Never forget that. We read the Psalm of David, the this and that. David was an insightful man, a man after God's heart. When he saw her, it's not just lust that attracted him to her. He knew she was carrying that seed for his legacy as a king. Abigail was part of the womb that carried the final seed of Jesus Christ. You have to remember that. She was the mother of Solomon, and Solomon was a great king. So David, he saw that in her. But in order for him to reap that benefit, he had to take her, he had to go on her field and sow that seed on her field. He didn't care that she was married, but he had to get that seed. He had to get that woman. And Abigail, being in the palace I bet you she was a wise woman, because you cannot have a child that is so wise if the mother did not plant something in him. Remember, according to Ezekiel 19, it's the mother who raised up the strong lions, the strong king, the baby king, the children with scepters and crowns, okay? So David understood that he could not be limited by whatever the society would say. He was going after the field. And why? Because he was a man of great destiny. He was a man of great achievement. He was a king. When you are a king, you don't settle for less. You know that you're supposed to get to a level, and you will figure out how to get to that level. Mind you, David killed Uriah, right? The husband of Abigail. But he didn't have to. He didn't have to kill him. But he knew that he had to have this field. God punished him, okay? So that's okay. Don't worry. God punished him. But what you don't know is that when David killed Goliath, Saul promised him his daughter, Micah, right? When David ran away from Saul to be safe for his life, he left Micah somewhere. He couldn't run away with her. That's why when he went where he was, he married another wife. But do you know that Micah went ahead and got married to another man? Started her own life over there. She was happy, whatever. When David became king, he went ahead and he picked up Micah. He brought her to the palace. And he didn't kill the husband. He didn't have to kill her. He brought Micah back. Why? Because Micah was his trophy. Micah represented his win against Goliath, right? David was a man who was a polygamist, but he was smart about that. He was picking the woman who was taking him to the next level. He wasn't just being a polygamist like a lot of people do back home in Africa. Oh, let me just get another wife because you too nagging, you too this, No! And David had the money to take care of them. You understand? He even had concubines. Who cares? But he had the means. It's not that you go look for another wife and then, you can't even feed the children you already have. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? You're not wise. Okay? A man who is of a great destiny and who knows that he needs the feminine energy for something to get him to the next level, he will find it. That's why you will sometimes see men of power and riches sometimes have multiple wives, or divorce and get other wives, or just have how do you call that, not concubine, it's called why am I blinking on that name now? When you have a like cheeser, like side chick. Why am I forgetting that name? I did a video about that. Okay, because he's looking for something the wife is not giving to him. But if he's serious, sometimes he's going to treat that side chick as a wife, buy her a house, put her there, even have children with her, because he knows what he's getting from her. So not all women have the same capacity, right? Because we don't have the same capacity. If you marry a man of great means and of a great destiny, and you have reached your maximum, and he still wants to continue to increase, he will definitely look around. There's nothing you can do about it. It's not about the woman, it's about the man. He's looking for something. Okay? Just like David. David was a smart polygamist. Okay? What can I say? The other thing is that if you want to be a polygamist, don't take both wives in the same house. You can't do that. Because a wife is a foundation. And if each foundation gives you a different type of building. One foundation can give you a mansion, and one foundation can give you a huge, skyscraper building, depending of what is written in your destiny, depending on what is hidden in that woman. That's what you will get. So I believe that we must begin to change our mindset about, especially if we are kingdom minded, kingdom of God, of course. And we see and we understand the meaning of what's written in the Bible. We will stop pointing fingers on men of great destiny who are looking for women that fit where they are, their needs, and the mission God has planted into them. Don't even worry about it. God himself will direct the man to the woman. God himself will do that. You understand? Don't even bother about that. A lot of women arise and begin to fight, uselessly. Don't bother. God is behind the whole scam. God is behind the whole scam because it starts in the spirit. The spirit of God is there. It starts in the spirit. Spirit, soul, then body. Okay? Anyway, this was Dr. Suzanne. I don't want to make this super long. And this is totally my opinion. Okay? Don't kill me. Don't, whatever. I'm just giving you some insights of the things I receive, okay? So have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.